Hello, remember how many friends in social networks have forever remained with the status of last seen online? Or the last time was online on some date. Someone abandoned their account, someone created a new account, or even passed away. But is it so? Find out in the full history of last seen online. The person we're playing for buys an old computer at a garage sale and turns it on. On the start screen, we are asked to enter a password, and against the background of a photo from the birthday of a certain fox and a puppy Scotty, we see a cake with the number 8, and in the corner of the screen, the date when this photo was taken. Assuming that the password is hidden in the photo, by trial and error, we guess to write the name of the puppy Scotty. And subtracting 8 years from the date of the photo, where the 2000th year is written, we get 1992nd year, which we add to the name of the puppy, and the password fits. On the desktop, we immediately see photos. Apparently the former owners of the computer of Liss and her friend M. We open an application called Buddy List, which is an analog of the old Mission Messenger, where someone from the list of friends of Liss, with the nickname Orion, notices us and asks us if we are really a fox. We lie to Orion and pretend to be the fox. By the nickname Lonely Girl 15, we can immediately understand that at the time of the last use of the application, Liss was 15 years old. Talking with Orion, he begins to suspect us and asks us to confirm each stage of the ritual in a certain game of the lake, or in the translation of another world. Since we don't know this sequence, we start reading the correspondence with other fox friends. In correspondence with a certain eternal juice, the fox writes that she is 14 years old, that is, their communication took place a year earlier. He tells her that he can't wait for her to join them. It's like we're talking about some kind of cult that's trying to lure her. Judging by the correspondence with her best friend M, she was in love with a guy named Lawson. She also complains that school classes are hard for her, and at home her mother makes fun of her appearance, and does not let her sit at the computer, thereby causing constant stress for foxes. She disappears for 2 weeks, and when M asks where she disappeared, the fox replies that she met new friends in some game called Another World, and that she found a way to get out forever. This scares her friend, but the fox continues to praise her idea and shares a file with an archive that she prepared for her friend Orion, so that they go through some kind of ritual together in this game. M asks how to open the archive, and since there is also a file with an archive on our desktop, we repeat the described steps in order to open it. We have to go into the music player on the desktop and put it in a certain place. Thus, we will see a sequence of numbers. Including the songs in this sequence, each of them we hear a certain number. Having compiled a password from them, we open the archive. There are 4 strange photos from the game in this archive, as well as a real photo of Lawson, with whom Liss is in love. After a while, we see a coded message from the fox, where it says, "Emily, it worked." To which M replies that she doesn't understand who wrote to her and apparently thinks that her account was hacked. We see another coded message. "It's me, the fox. I'm still learning how to control it." M starts to think that this is some kind of joke from a burglar and blocks it. In correspondence with Lawson, we see that he shares with Lee the same thing that she shares with her friend, namely reproaches for school grades from her mother. The fox tells him that the same thing is happening to her, to which Lawson reacts sharply and becomes interested, and asks her to tell him everything, but the fox does not answer him anymore. In the following correspondence, the fox communicates with a certain Scott Eng about the ritual and clarifies whether he will help her, to which Scott says that the ritual is called Baphomet, which is actually a figure of the devil in ancient writings, and he will help her to gain consciousness and enlightenment beyond the real world. The fox also notices that he has the same name as her dog, which is why he shows full confidence in him. After some time, Scott writes that the ritual has begun, and the fox writes that he is very worried. And Scott writes to tell her not to worry, and he will meet her soon. Next, we will see a coded message from Lee with the words, "You promised me you wouldn't leave me. Don't leave me." In the archive, we also find a text file in which Liz's personal diary is written, from which we learn that her mother moved to the United States while pregnant and divorced from her husband, whom she hated. Having no experience and support in the form of a husband, she brought up Liss as best she could and often snapped at her, and saw in her appearance the features of her ex-husband, and even called the police, thinking that her daughter was taking drugs. Thus, every day she brought her daughter to hysterics and thoughts of leaving this world. At some point, the mother decides to apologize to her daughter and says that she loves her. Liss writes that she skipped school and spent all the time talking to Orion, who introduced her to October, Halloween, which she says she does not want to leave this world alone. And after there is not a single entry in the diary. Using the photos we obtained from the game, we can consistently answer all questions about the ritual and deceive Orion, so that he trusts us even though we deceive him. Having answered the ritual sequence correctly, we receive from him an invitation code to the game Another World. Entering the code, we unexpectedly receive a video call from Orion. Our camera turns on, where we see a creepy room with a computer chair on which there is blood. We enter the game by specifying the nickname Fox and see a message from Ryan that we are not a fox. He found out when he saw us on a video call. In the game, we get a message explaining the system of another world. The cube represents the community that connects us. The pyramid represents the structure that holds us together. The sphere represents creativity, what makes us alive. At the location on the right, we get to a disco, in which the game invites us to meet other players. On the left, we seem to see a ghost, clicking on which, a fox with the nickname Lonely Girl 15 approaches us. She says hello to us, friend, and leads us to the Nexus location, where players can create their own worlds. She opens the passage to the house of Baphomet, in which she writes to us that this is the world of all worlds, and in order to get into it, we need to follow the instructions of those who were before us. Next to the entrance, we see photos of 4 lost souls who apparently went through the ritual just like the fox. Using a long and short knock on the door, we pass into the house of Baphomet, where we move deeper, solving various riddles of the sequence, as well as searching for the word forever, which means forever or eternity. At the last stage of the rituals, we post a photo of Lawson and the fox, and the ritual is considered completed. And the game includes cheats, full access, and immortality for us. Liss immediately starts communicating with us, who writes to us that she doesn't know how much time she spent here, and thanks us for showing her photos of and Lawson and herself, that she has already forgotten what she looked like. The game keeps rebooting, and Liz writes to us that a long time ago, she trusted a man who promised her eternity. Thank you for uploading these photos. I wondered if I would see their faces again. It's been so long since I've met anyone here. I even forgot what I look like. I was fighting with my mom. So I uploaded myself to the internet. I loaded myself into this game. At first everything was fine. We have created so much here. This world was full of new people whom I constantly met, but now people left, grew up, switched to something else. But the other world remained the same, eternal. Without players, all the worlds they created disappeared. Everyone who went through the ritual tried to remove themselves. But how the soul got stuck in the system files. I hear them sometimes screaming. Their consciousness merged with some kind of system file. This place, everything I have left, everything has gone bad, even this. How were we supposed to know? I miss Emily. I miss when we played flash games with her at the computer, slept together, watched TV shows. I wonder who she grew up to be. I miss Lawson. I miss talking to him about my problems. I miss how comfortable it was with him. I wouldn't want him to see me like this. I miss my mom. I miss our stupid conflicts. It's all so unimportant now. If only I had known that these were temporary difficulties. I was afraid of getting bad grades. I was afraid of being ugly. I was afraid of disappointing people. I was afraid of death. But now, I'm afraid of eternity. But now you're with me, right? You went through the ritual. A few more minutes and you'll join me. I won't be alone anymore. Forever. And suddenly, Lawson starts writing to her, who saw that Liz was online. Hey Liz, I see your account constantly online and offline. I've been writing to you every year since you disappeared, apparently hoping that you would respond. I came to you today. I left flowers and your favorite sweets. I decided it was time to move on. You're not coming back, are you, Liz? I miss you so much. Goodbye. The game cannot withstand the load, and the computer memory cuts down the game without having time to transfer us to another world, which will forever remain only a fox. But we still have an open question. Who is Orion? How did he find the fox? And most importantly, if he wrote us a message in the game that we are not a fox. Then why does the Somali not see his presence in another world? If we read from the very beginning the correspondence between Orion and Liss, we may notice a certain file, red herring point exec. Orion says that this does not apply to the game, but that it is just some kind of project. If we run this file, a cache opens in the form of a house, and if we click on the door, we see a window, a mattress, a washing machine, and plants. If you click on the mattress, the phrase "pray to anyone but God" will appear. Restarting the game and running this file again will change something in the house. Sometimes silhouettes of men, women, old people, and children may appear, clicking on which will open a window with a blurred photo. Every time you click on the silhouette, new photos and the same inscription will appear. I got into the game code and noticed a certain link that is hidden. Launching which opened a website in which various personal blogs and people's pages on the internet are inserted. And many have this cache inserted in the form of a house. All this is accompanied by phrases and questions about what has become of people, the internet as a whole. This cache and the site were obviously created by Orion, where he collected data on people, including children, who had any tendencies to stress, depression, hatred of life. And that's how he found victims for the ritual, got acquainted with them, ingratiated himself with them, thereby recruiting people to move to another world. And a fox fell into his trap. And photos of people in the house he created, like a database of who he convinced to go through the ritual. And there is also an encrypted message in the game's glasses, which I decrypted through the cryptogram decoder, in which Orion says, "Fox, it's me, I found someone, don't worry, now you won't be alone," as a message to the foxes that he dragged you and me into the game. And if not for the overload of the game, the Orion collection would have been replenished with our photo. Now we finally know the whole story of Last Sin Online.